Who is the real Anna Delvey? You said, I'm not a fraudster, so who are you?
I guess what people don't really write about me is like, I have a great work ethic. So, and I guess I can make things happen and I can assemble a really good team. So, and I'm not a quitter. So I don't know what that makes me.
Are you a narcissist?
I feel like it's not my place to diagnose myself. It's just for other people.
Do you feel the need to be the center of attention all the time?
No. Of course, like I'd be lying if I told you I don't enjoy the attention, but I would like to get attention for the right reasons, for like good reasons, and not like something negative. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now.
You know, people are driven by different things. Some people want money, some people want notoriety, status, fame. What drives you? It seemed to me that it wasn't the money.
No, it definitely was not. I always saw money as a tool to get things or to build things or to create something that other people enjoyed. I guess for me it was, I don't know, I would say power or control. I started off working on this project when I was pretty young. I was 23. So yeah, I guess it's just like I wanted to be relevant and I wanted to make a difference.
You seem to have a need to impress strangers. Is that true? Did you feel the need to impress strangers?
I guess yes. I guess it would be fair to say so.
Why is that?
I guess I just wanted to be remembered for something, like for something bigger. I just didn't want to be like this irrelevant person, like with a 9-to-5 job who will like spend her whole life doing something nobody cares about.
Should you be receiving this attention? Do you deserve it?
It's not up to me to judge that. I guess everybody will see it differently. I'm just dealing with what my reality is.
Should you have fans?
If people feel inspired by my story, I don't know if you want to call them fans. I don't know. It's just really not up to me. Like some things you just let other people say about you. So I would definitely not want to encourage anybody to commit any crimes. So in all the interviews I'm doing right now, I'm trying to like bring that point across, so that people should not feel like, oh, look at Anna, she's doing so awesome. She committed crimes and she went to jail. So I would not want to be this person who like encouraged even one girl to just go and like attempt something similar that I've done.
Are you a fraudster?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You were watching this whole thing when I was talking to her, and I felt like you were holding your breath the whole time.
Dr. Phil, I've got to be honest with you. I'm glad that my Zoom was on mute and my camera wasn't on, because I was the whole time.
You said you thought she reacted that way because, to quote you, I came in hot.
Yeah, you did come in.
Well, I just am who I am. I just ask questions, and I thought this was killing her because I asked questions and that went straight to the heart. I asked, are you a narcissist? Are you a fraudster? Do you deserve this attention? What about your fans? And I thought it was killing her to have to answer these questions because I think she's arrogant and I think she's self-deluded. This is a street hustler that lied to the banks, stole money from hotels, took money from people under false pretenses, and is a street hustler with zero empathy. And a narcissist you'll ask them a question and they will answer the one they want to answer instead of the one you ask. And she did that with you a lot of times. And I'll ask you, you deserve fans? Well, that's not up to me to decide. Should you deserve all this attention? Well, I don't know. That's up to others. I just am who I am. Like, people just can't help but be drawn to me.
Is it also a defense mechanism?
It's not defense, it's aggression. You were a prominent character in the Netflix series. I was curious how you thought you were depicted. Was it accurate, inaccurate? How'd you feel about it?
It was amazing, Dr. Phil. It was very accurate. I was able to work close with Shonda and Shonda Land to make sure that the story, at least from my POV, was as accurate as possible.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. What would you like the world to know about Anna and about you?
Wow. Well, about Anna, she's hilarious. So a lot of times she says things and people take it very serious, but she's really just super funny. She's an interesting person. I've never met anyone like her. So I don't really have a deep description about her. When it comes to our friendship, it was fun times. It just wasn't uh, truthful. So, that kind of hurts. And what I want the world to know about me is, I was just a young woman. I was in my early 20s. I was working at the concierge desk, and this woman just never left. And we built a bond. And it just so happened that, she was a scammer. So I've separated myself from her in many ways and just started focusing on my film career and just using this opportunity to kind of help me, get those film gigs that I always dreamed of in film school.
Yes. And I hope something good does come out of it for you. Do you feel like you were used at the time? As you look back on it now, do you feel like she used you and exploited you?
Definitely. This was a person that used me for my time. And I know people are like, oh, time isn't a big deal, but I lost a lot of time because of Anna. She would sit at my desk. I would have to ignore other guests. She had a lot of requests, but it paid off. So I have no complaints, but she definitely used me.
Yeah. And you said that she was fun at times, but unfortunately she was a scammer. What does that mean to you when you say she was a scammer? How do you define that?
Just taking the route that you're not supposed to take. That you're not supposed to do things in a way where you're overdrafting an account, you're taking from banks. So a scammer is someone that wants to do it the easy way, to me, and not work hard.
What was it like to live with the pressure that you were living with at the time?
I'd like to believe that I performed very well under stress and pressure. And I guess one of my mistakes was to assume that other people can take the same amount of stress that I do. And it's like seemingly something so simple, but it took me a while to figure out. Like, for example, with Rachel, I just thought like it was a bad situation that she couldn't pay her credit card bill, but I just thought like she would be more like me and kind of like see through it. But it was a mistake from my side to assume that she could handle the same amount of stress as I do.
I'm extremely stressed, but as soon as she wires me the money, which she said would happen the following week, I was like, this is going to be okay. She's going to just come through. This is my friend. I trust her. And then, of course, it never happened.
Do you think this has toughened you up going through all of this and surviving it? Do you think you'll be tougher when you come out than you were when all of this started several years ago?
I mean, definitely. The older you get, the more stress you are learning to endure.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm like less intimidated or faced by like all kinds of things. So it's also something that comes like with getting older.
This is what I mean in saying that I think she's very narcissistic and everything's always about her. My question was intended to say, what was your reaction to the pressure of always wondering, like, am I going to be found out today? I've faked everything. Are they going to catch me today or whatever? And my question was, what was it like to live with that guillotine over your head every day, the hammer getting ready to drop? And her response was, I ripped $62,000 off of this woman and I underestimated her ability to handle the pressure. So she failed me. I thought she would be tough like me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That wasn't the question, and I'm astounded that that's your answer. What did you think of that?
That sounded like Anna. I mean, I know her and Rachel don't have, the best friendship, but like you said, taking ownership is very important. And yeah, that doesn't surprise me. that's how she is.
One of the things people have talked a lot about, they say that you did have a stylist for trial, that you even kept the judge waiting at one point because you refused to come to court in certain outfits. That was just really important to you. Is that true?
I guess like there were two instances where that happened. Yeah, it was important to me to have clothes that I felt comfortable. Like when you're in a courtroom, you sit there for I don't know, 6-7 hours, and you have somebody just taking pictures of you all day long, and it's really stressful. And I just wanted to have something that I'm comfortable in, and something that's like not dirty or wrinkled or like 3 sizes too big for me. So I think that was reasonable. And I did hire a stylist. Her name was Anastasia Walker. The reasoning behind it was it's easier to borrow clothes and return them as opposed to just buying a whole new wardrobe for the clothes that I will probably never wear again. So.
Yeah. Did you ever get any feedback whether it helped with the jury or if they resented it?
I don't know, to be honest. That's a good question for my lawyer. So nobody told me anything directly.
You should put that in your book. That would be an interesting fact.
I should have like some of my jurors interviewed. That would definitely be interesting.
Yes, very much so. I used to work with juries a lot, and they will definitely have an opinion. That would be great for your book.
But yes. How was your lawyer career going?
Well, I'm not a lawyer.
Can I retain you?
Yeah, I help a lot of lawyers, and particularly when they're in front of judges or juries on tough cases. So that's why I was wondering if you got any feedback from them.
All right. So I guess it's too late for me because I've already been to trial.
Were you surprised at all, Neff, that she got a stylist and did all that?
Well, I'm not surprised because the stylist was one of my best friends. Anna had contacted me and told me she needed a stylist. And I thought, okay, why? And she told me everything that she told you. And I thought, okay, well, yeah, Lindsay Lohan and people, they always come to court stylish. I get it. So I paid my friend to pull some looks for her, which are just clothes. And that was another one of those weird requests that I got from her, which didn't surprise me.
I said part of her answer surprised me. And if you are accused of stealing money and exploiting people, you don't want to go in there with clothing that is more expensive than the jury's wearing. Bad idea. Really bad idea. You're really worried about getting deported and not ever being able to come back to America again, right?
That's correct.
What would that do to your plans?
Well, I have a long history in New York, and I love the city, and I just have so many friends in here, and I feel like my whole life as an adult I spent like in the States. So I would be really, really sad. I mean, I'm sure I'd figure something out if I were to be back in Europe, but staying here is really important to me.
So what is your deportation status as we sit here today? Do you have a good case for staying?
Hope I do, yes. Unfortunately, I cannot comment. My lawyers told me not to,
Okay.
but I'd be happy to talk about my immigration journey once it's over and resolved in some way.
You know, she's done her time, and I give her that. She says she's made restitution. I don't hear remorse in her voice. I don't hear ownership in her voice. And so I question whether she has really learned that there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and there are boundaries, and you have to respect other people's dignity and right to be dealt with honestly.
A Dr. Phil exclusive.
Are you a fraudster?
Absolutely not.
With the fake heiress Anna Delvey.
I think she's a street hustler with zero empathy.
Plus, her friend Neff and a videographer in Marrakesh.
Are you a narcissist?
New Dr. Phil. Check your local listings.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.